Okay, so we're starting on our backs, please. Right, all the way down, knees bent up. Arms just relaxed at your sides or hands on your belly. Let the shoulders get comfortable. Just let your whole body drop in. Feel your feet against the ground, spread your toes, and plant your feet. Feeling every point of contact with the ground beneath you, from the back of your head to the back of your shoulders, lower back, back of the hips, I should say. Easy breaths, settling in, noticing what tension you're carrying with you today. Consciously relaxing. Big, full, easy breaths. The sense of softening down as each breath leaves your body. Invite your breath more deeply, all the way down into your abdomen. Slowly out without any force. Softness at the end of the breath. And relaxing down a little more, so soften around your face muscles. Relax around your throat, chest, ribs, belly, hips, inner thighs, just wherever you notice that you're gripping or holding tightness. Just a couple more breaths before we bring in some movement. Okay, just bringing arms down the sides of your body and feet to come in a little bit closer towards your hips. Keep them about hip distance apart, and same with the knees, just a slight gap between them so they're in line or about the same distance as the hips. Okay, and then pressing down into the soles of your feet, you're just going to float the hips off the ground, just kind of peeling off the ground. It doesn't have to be too high, we'll be lifting up and down quite a few times. Just take a breath and then lower back down again. And then pushing into your feet, let's rise again. So there's a little bit of tension in the glutes to lift the hips off. Might feel good to breathe in each time you rise and to breathe out each time you lower, or if it's the reverse, just work with that. There's no right or wrong if it feels good. So we're just going to keep rising and lowering at your own pace. So think about it kind of like how we do our cat-cow sequence. Just feel that mobility through the spine. Each time you lower, feel each segment of the spine touching the ground one at a time. So you're moving at your own speed, slow or speed it up, whatever feels best to you. Kind of pressing down into the ground each time you lift off. And you choose how high you want to rise off the ground. Noticing which muscles need to switch on to control the movement, but also where you could relax a little to find ease and flow. You might even play with reversing the breath. So see how it would feel to breathe in each time you lower, and to breathe out each time you lift off. how that changes the sense of control of each movement. Does it activate different muscles as well? And we'll just do one more. We'll make this one your last one. And eventually, when you finish that last round, keep the hips down. Bring hands to your thighs and slowly get the knees up to your chest without squeezing them in tight. So just rest hands lightly on your knees. Take a couple of breaths here. Okay, and then lifting your knees straight up over your hips. So they're bent around about 90 degrees. And we're just going to curl up, so tilt the chin down towards your chest, curling up, and reach hands towards your pinky toes. Then sweep your arms overhead and lay your upper body down again. Take a breath in, and with the out breath, lift off. So lifting chest away from the ground, up towards the thighs, and reach out, arms overhead. And if you want to add on, we're just curling up. Then next time you extend, reach the legs out long as well. So you can keep your knees partly bent while we're still warming up, or maybe you want to go a bit longer, bending these up as we curl on up. So you don't have to move too fast, just moving with control. Take a breath in as you extend out, but keep the lower back pressing towards the ground. Breathing out as we lift off. And it's just 2 more. Extending out. And then curling up again one last time. Bring hands to your knees and just lay your upper body down again, resting your head. Bring your arms out wide, so they're about in line with your shoulders. Stack your knees straight up over hips again. And notice if your lower back tries to arch away from the ground, you want to keep a little bit of tension in the abdominals just to support your position. So we're not clearing the ribs. We will stay nice and contained on the abdomen. Keeping arms glued to the ground. Lower your knees partway over to one side, so they might just come about halfway. Keep both shoulders anchored to the floor. Then come up through center and lower over to the other side. So we'll breathe in as we come up through center and breathe out each time we lower. Just keep slowly moving from one side to the other. Keeping shoulders glued to the ground. And if you want to make it a little bit easier on yourself, knees could be a bit closer towards you. Or to make it more challenging, move the knees further away so they're at 90 degrees or even slightly further. But just notice what happens around the trunk of your body. So if you feel like you're losing control, then maybe just bring the knees in a bit wider. So we come through center, we're still keeping those abs active and working a little more into the obliques each time we lower. We'll do one more on each side, enough to even up. Okay, and then coming back through center when you're done, hands on top of your knees and just really lightly gather in without squeezing. Take a few breaths here, full deep breaths, so breathing fully into the rib cage, but also directing your breath right down into the lower back and into the lower abdomen. And then we'll roll over and come and turn over up onto your hands and knees. Planting your hands, spread your fingers. Okay, knees are stacked under your hips. Moving through cat-cow sequence. So let's start by scooping belly in and up towards your spine, rounding out. And then draw the belly down with control. Lengthen your chest forward towards your biceps, side gaze, just to give you into our cow. Rounding out to cat. And you may like to close your eyes here, internalize. Maybe feel what's happening in your body as you move. Moving through to cow. Pushing down into the ground, round out, broaden into the back body. Notice where it feels more natural to breathe in or to breathe out. So which phase of the movement. Again, there's no right or wrong. And just go at your own pace. Try to let your breath set the pace of the movement. So one breath, one phase of the breath per phase of the movement. Don't be afraid to make a sound when you're breathing as well. And if you want to try reversing the breath, so breathing in at a different phase of the movement, take that too. There's no right or wrong if it feels good to you. Keep going just for a couple more rounds. And eventually when you're done, we'll sit back into a child's pose, bringing your knees a little bit wider. Big toes slide together. Sit hips back towards your heels. Arms outstretched and let your elbows rest to the ground. If you get any tenderness around the wrists, and you could circle or stretch them out, wiggle fingers, anything that feels good. Stay for a few breaths here, letting your breath shift into the back of the body. Really filling the space of the back ribs. And also feeling a sense of openness around the lower back area. So really trying to direct your breath low into your abdomen. You're coming up to hands and knees again. All right, and this time we're going to add on a leg. Send the right foot up and move the rest of your body into like a cow pose. We're drawing the belly down, chest up by the bicep, side gaze forward. Then knee comes in and up towards your body. Send the toes up. So make sure we're not collapsing the middle, we're moving with control. Knee comes in and up towards so knee towards your chest. One more time. Toes up. And coming under. Switching to the other side, so drop the knee down, other foot lifts. So thinking about your breath again. Synchronizing breath with movement. Leg comes under, thigh towards your body. Toes up. Eye gaze just ahead for this part of the movement. Head coming under. And one more time. Coming under. Okay, knees drop down. This time, right leg extends out long, so making one long line. This time we want to keep the body long, so we're not dropping in the middle, we're pulling in through the belly. So visualize that long line from your toes to hip out to the crown of the head. And this time we'll bring the knee around the side, coming up towards the elbow. Keeping your weight forward, your shoulders over the wrists, send your leg out long, knee up towards the elbow, so nothing else needs to move, just the leg. Extend out long, knee bends up, and we'll touch down, switch to the other side. So left leg out long, make sure you're not rotating the hips, so we want to keep the hips pointing down, level to the ground, and navel draws up towards the spine, a little bit of tension in the abdominals to hold your pose. Knee comes around the side up towards your elbow. Extend out long, moving with control. Bend the knee around. And one more time, extend. And bend around. Knee touches down, let's sit back to child. Relieve your wrists if they need it. So you might just tip your palms down to stretch the backs of the hands, back to the wrists, top of the wrists. Or do some gentle circles, wiggle fingers, it feels right to you. Okay, let's plant the hands again. And this time we're coming up to a crouch position, so tuck the toes under, take a deep knee bend and push your hips right back. So a long line through the upper body, make sure you're not dropping your head, so keep the neck long too. And then pushing into your feet, we'll come forward to a plank. Deep knee bend, push back. And coming forward to your plank. Push into hands to shift back. And come forward, let's hold our plank this time. Drop your right knee to the floor, spin the foot out to the side, land the left heel, and lift your left arm high. That's it. Now push the hips forwards, a little squeeze in the glutes. Yep, that's it. And then the top hand comes down, pass through plank, drop the left knee to the floor, spin the foot out to the side for balance. Land that right heel so we turn the hips all the way to the side. Push the hips forwards and squeeze the glutes, and the right arm lifts. Hand touches down, pass through plank, right knee down, spin open, left arm lifts. And touch down, let's smooth it out, left knee down, and open. And down. Okay, and then this time you might keep the keep the knees off the ground. If you want to give that a go, you can drop the knee if you need to, or you can just spin the heels to the ground. A little squeeze in the glutes again. That's it, touch down. Smoothly over to the other side. Always drop the knee if you need to. And we're just going to do one more on each side. So move with control, think about your breath. And land, and to the other side. Touch down, let's drop back to our child's pose. Wide knees, toes together, slide back. Relieve the wrists if they need it. Okay, now hold down into your hands again. This time coming up to a downward facing dog. Tuck toes under, send your hips up high, and push your hips back towards the legs. Strong arms, broaden across your shoulders. So trying to move shoulders away from ears, knees as bent as they need to be. It's not all about trying to get heels to the ground. They can be floating off as much as you need. Okay, now send your right leg up high. Shift forward and bring your knee through up towards your chest. And lift your thigh up close to your body. That's it. Send the leg up high. Come forward. So knee up towards your chest. Another little squeeze to lift it up close. Drive down into hands, send the leg up. We'll do this one more time. Coming forward, lift, squeeze. Now step down and switch to the other side. So left leg lifts. Same thing again, shifting forward, press into every finger, lift your thigh close to your body. Good. Extend. And come through. So breathing out as we come forward. Send the leg up and forward. And then step down. Now you can hold your down dog, or if you need to come off your hands, you can sit back and check them off, or just stand on your body. Just a couple of breaths here. And then this time, so you went to down dog. Send the right leg up. This time we're going to bend the knee and rotate your hips open. So really try to drive the top knee high, but keep your weight even in each hand. So we're trying to keep the shoulders level. So the right shoulder is moving towards the ground until it's level with the left one. Coming forward, this time the knee comes around the side. Bring it up towards your elbow and then try to squeeze a little bit higher. Push into hands, sweep the leg up and over. The breath, and coming forward, knee up towards elbow, and then a little higher towards shoulder. One more time. You can do this from your knees if you need to. One more time, up and over. Coming forward, little squeeze, touch down and switch to the other side. Left leg lifts, bend the knee, rotate open. Make sure you're not twisting the bottom leg inwards. So the kneecap needs to be pointing forward. Weight in both hands, and let's come forward, knee outside elbow. Push into hands, sweep the leg over, bend forward. Just got one more. Coming forward, little squeeze, and then step down, sit back to your child. With the hands. Circle, whatever you need, stay as you are. Just a few more breaths here. Dropping in, easing in. Okay, now coming to down facing dog again. Wind down into hands, send your hips up high. Alright, power evenly into each hand and float your right leg up high. Now come forward, bring your knee up towards your chest and then hold it right here. Now send your front foot, the right foot, to the opposite side, over to the left. Press the side of your foot to the floor. Spin the back heel to the ground and lift your left arm up high. Yep, keep going, you got it, nice, take a breath. And with the out breath, land the hand, bring your knee up towards your chest, sweep the leg up and over, so we're driving the knee up high, take a breath, and step down, doing the same to the other side. So the left leg lifts, send it straight up. With your out breath, come forward, knee up close towards your body, and send it out to 90 degrees, straight out to the side. Land that back heel, so we're turning the hips until you can lift the right arm off, send it up high. Hand comes to the floor, knee up towards your chest again. Sweep it up and over. Pause and take a breath. And step down. Same thing to the other side, so you can take a break if you need it, otherwise you're moving with me, same thing. Right leg lifts. Knee comes forward, up towards your chest. Send it straight out to the side, flex the foot, press into the outer edge of the foot, spin the back heel to the ground, left arm lifts, take a breath. Hand comes down, knee to your chest, sweep the leg up and over, and you could stay right here, or you could pivot on that bottom foot into the top toes, finding the floor behind. Then plant the feet in, lift your hips up high, roll the top shoulder open, stay for a breath. And with the out breath, touch down. Sweep the leg up and over and step down. Take a break if you need it. Actually, let's all take a break. You're doing good? All right, we've got one more side to go. All right. So we have to even up. Okay, left leg lifts. Send it up. Coming forward, knee to chest. Send the leg out to the sides, then the heel to the ground, the hips rotate. Sweep the right arm high, take a breath. Hand touch down, knee comes under, then sweep it up and over. So you can hold or sit on the bottom foot, top toes, find the ground behind you, then lift your hips up high, squeeze the glutes together. Plant the hand down, up and over, go into a three-legged dog, and touch down. Let's lower knees all the way to the floor, and sit back, and breathe. Let your breath shift into the back of your body. Breathe into your back ribs. Right down low into the trunk of the body. Let the space around your lower back expand. And soften with each out breath. Okay, come and turn over and take a seat with your legs out long, feet towards me. Shuffle your hips back, so we're sitting up really nice and tall, and take the right foot, slide it up to the inside of the other leg, your calf or your thigh. So we're sitting tall, and then lean out towards the long leg, hands either side. Doesn't matter how far you come, but think about tipping forward from the hips, rather than curving through the spine. So we really want that action to happen from the hips. Support yourself with your hands as much as you need. And just breathe. Just a few breaths. And then sitting up, turn to face your bent knee and come into a side stretch. So the facing the knee and then right up is the head. Sit. And keep revolving your shoulders. Breathe. Now the top hand in the air, bring it behind you by your hip. And then push the ground away from you, sweep the other arm over. And keep rotating your chest open to the ceiling as much as you feel confident. Keep that long leg quite strong. You're squeezing the glutes. And we'll hold for another breath here. And with the out breath, slowly release down. Extend your legs out long, and we'll do the same to the other side. So I'll bring the left foot up this time. Low or high, you choose, whatever feels better. Keeping the knee, sit tall, pitch forward from the hips, hands either side, lean in. Without any strain, just let each out breath take you a little further. Deepen the pose. And then moving into our side stretch. So we'll turn so that we're facing the bent knee and bring the left arm overhead. About the position of your neck. It's comfortable, no strain. the top hand finds the ground behind you. Keep the straight leg strong as we push the ground away. Keep your hips up high, rotating the body open as much as it feels good. Big full breaths. Try to connect here. Internalize your awareness. Press into the top of the foot. It's under you. Hold for another breath. And release back down. Bring your legs out long and then a quick little shake off. And then scoot hips down towards heels and come and look a little bit back. Hands resting lightly on your knees, so we're not squeezing them in. Shoulders broaden and drop towards the ground. And then plant your feet to the floor. Keep your knees tracking about 56 apart. Arms down the sides of your body. And lift your hips off. So you've got a bit of a squeeze in the glutes to support your pose. Make sure you're not flaring the ribs. You want to knit the ribs together. Still a little bit of tension in the abs so that we're not completely relaxed. And relaxing around your throat. We're just going to hold here for a few breaths. So spread your toes, power down into the soles of your feet. Full conscious breaths. Make sure there's no discomfort in the lower back. Stay for one more breath. And then we'll slowly, very, very slowly lower back down. Feel each segment of your spine land. Just melting down. And then once you've landed, bring your arms out wide and let your knees just fall over to one side. Take a couple of breaths. And then bring your knees over to the other side. Drop them across, a couple of breaths. And you can either keep your feet on the floor and keep moving knees from side to side, or you can float your feet off and then just let knees come all the way over. When you move to the other side, start by lifting the top knee first and drag the other knee over. To the first side again, top knee lifts. Roll your way over. Knees land. And to the other side. Coming back up through center, moving into a happy baby pose. If you don't want to go straight into happy baby, you can just hold on to your shins and keep your big toes together and just hang out here. Or you could reach up to the insteps of your feet and lift your heels above your knees, keeping your knees wide. Try to actively press the back of your hips into the floor and keep your shoulders relaxed. Also make sure your head is relaxed completely, so there's no tension in the neck. And you could hold still, or you could gently rock from side to side. And another option here, you can stay in your happy baby, or if you've got the urge to stretch your legs out, then send the legs wide, supporting around your thighs or grab hold of your big toes, whatever feels best. Whichever option you've chosen, let's stay for a few more breaths. And then gather legs in, plant your feet to the floor. Let's finish the way we started. Arms at your sides or hands to your belly. Knees resting together, so position your feet in such a way that you can relax your leg muscles. Shoulders broad and relaxed towards the ground. And as you feel your body drop into the ground, sense every point of contact fall heavily into each of those places. Bringing awareness to your breath, feel the freedom of movement. Feel the expansion of your rib cage, at the front, at your chest, at the sides, at your back. Let's see if we could direct the breath more deeply into your lower abdomen, so feel the swell of your belly. That sense of broadening at the lower back. Very spacious breaths. Taking a scan in your mind throughout your body. Notice if there's anything you're still clinging on to, any tension, grip, protection, tightness, just softening, relaxing as you go. Each time your mind begins to wander away, try to refocus your attention without any judgment. Just keep coming back, no matter how many times you have to. Bringing attention to your breath again, let it move freely, deeply into your body. Relaxing all the way out, a little softness at the end of the breath. Then start to bring in some movement again, maybe just your hands first, the arms, forearms. You stretch arms overhead, sliding out one leg and the other, taking a full body stretch. Invigorating your body again, ready to move on with your day. Slowly draw your knees up towards your chest, hands on top of knees, hug them in close. And then either rolling up or to your side, coming to a seated position. Keep your eyes closed a bit longer if you like. Sitting tall, but slightly relaxed. A little bit of tension in the abdominals, which will be contained through the ribs. Let's all take a breath to finish. Sweep arms wide and high. Hands connect at the top. And slowly release down your center. Hands to your heart space. And thank you so much for joining me.